4 Super Bowl championships along with Joe Montana. They got leapfrogged by Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers still has 3 to go to catch them. Bradshaw was on WFAN, the Moose and Maggie show yesterday, and had some things to say about Aaron Rodgers. Let's have a listen to the original TB12.
With him being that upset shows me just how weak he is. Who the hell cares who you draft? I mean, he's a 3-time MVP in the league, and he's worried about this guy they drafted last year at number 1. And for him to be upset, my God, I don't understand that. Pittsburgh drafted Mark Malone, number 1, Cliff Stout in the 3rd or 4th round. I had them coming at me from all angles. I embraced it because when we went to practice, I wasn't worried about those guys. You know, it didn't scare me a bit. So I don't understand why he's so upset at Green Bay. And then if they fired the general manager, he'll come back. Are you kidding me? Really? Aaron, that's where this is. Here's what I'd do. I wouldn't budge. Let him gripe. Let him cry. Retire. You're 38. Go ahead and retire. See you later. I mean, I'm really strong about stuff like that. And it just makes him look weak. In my way of looking, it makes him look weak.
Do you think the threat is an empty one of retirement from Rodgers?
Hadn't thought of it like that.
I love how you just get exactly what you see.
Oh, just raw mode. Like he's like, I really never thought of it. Never. So wait, let me think about it right here. Hold on.
and then he went back and forth. He went back and forth on it 4 or 5 times. And he said, I've never been this wishy-washy on anything in my life. But I think he eventually, if I recall correctly, and who the hell knows because he was back and forth on it so many times, I think he eventually said he's bluffing, call his bluff.
Right.
And that's the old school football mindset.
Right.
Call his bluff. That's what we think the Packers are going to do, at least for now, call his bluff. So I think Terry probably was already on the list of guys Aaron Rodgers doesn't like. If he wasn't, he's the latest name to be added to it.
Yeah, right.
Calling him out the way that he did, Chris.
He just put his name above yours. That's what he did. He was like, wait, Florio at the top of the list. Hold on. I got one little space here. Bradshaw on top now. Well,
I said to somebody yesterday that I've been on the list for so long, the page my name is on is more cracked and yellow than Kramer's teeth when he started smoking.
Oh, well,
that's how long I've been on the list.
Don't worry. He gets a fresh piece of paper and a nice new marker every now and then.
It's laminated like his vaccination
He gets
card.
it up there. He ain't going to forget. Don't you worry. But, listen, it is difficult to watch with Rodgers. It is, I think, very strange for the old school player and even fan to get their head wrapped around like the current state of athletics, the way stars are, Aaron Rodgers, whatever it may be. There's all issues there. First off, what I would want to say to Terry Bradshaw is just go, it's not about he cares about the quarterback. He's not worried about that. It's just about he wants the team to commit to him. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to be in a 1-year, wait, are they going to keep me or are they not going to keep me thing? It's not about Jordan Love or anything like that. So that's where I would say to that. And, he brings up like the point about, hey, they drafted quarterbacks and things like that. Well, yes, they drafted quarterbacks and you embraced it. One, you've already won 4 Super Bowls at that point. So you're the king of Pittsburgh. We know that. There's no threat to you. And 2, he was coming to the end of his career. Like, it wasn't MVP level style or type of football anymore. That's where it's a little different too with Rodgers and everything like that. So that's where I would just go. And then, hey, Terry Bradshaw.
And they didn't draft Dan Marino in 1983 because they still had Terry Bradshaw.
Exactly. And like Terry Bradshaw.
And he threw 8 more passes.
8, exactly. So it was coming to an end and like everybody knew it to a degree. The other thing too is just like, Bradshaw's been very sensitive. That's the only thing that bothered me a little bit yesterday where I want to go, wait, this is the guy who didn't go back to Pittsburgh for 30 years because what? They didn't let him retire on his own terms, right? Isn't that basically what it was about? He felt like he didn't get to do it his way Rodgers
He held a grudge.
Rodgers wants to do it
grudge.
his way. I mean, so that's where I just don't like the Bradshaw take. He's a guy I really love and I love listening to, but I didn't totally agree with everything he said there.
But I will say this, when they did use a first-round pick on quarterback Mark Malone, now the times were different.
That's another
there was no
thing.
internet.
That's right.
There was no sports talk radio.
Right.
It wasn't a big eruption as far as anyone knew.
Right.
And maybe he just kept his mouth shut until he got to one training camp and realized this guy stinks. There's nothing for me to be worried about.
Yeah, no,
I respect.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that's I have a feeling, and I've heard that's kind of like Aaron Rodgers thought up in Green Bay. It was like, this guy's raw. He's nowhere near ready. I'm not worried. I think he realized that real early last year. I heard that from people up there. So, I don't think that's it. And yeah, with Bradshaw, come on, early on in his career, man, he hated Chuck Noll. He wanted to kind of get the hell out of there. He was miserable. So that's where I just don't like, come on. Let's not be hypocritical now because there's somebody doing it. And to your point, Mike, the world is different. It's different for these athletes. Social media has upped the ante in a big way. Like you said, back in those days, hey, there was 3 TV stations and a radio station. That's all everybody listened to. Now, you go on your phone and you look at something and you could find 90 million things of like, Rodgers is a choke artist. Rodgers is not the greatest. He's pinned to a label forever in this generation. And all these athletes are. And that's why they've taken power into their own hands, because they're going to go, wait, I'm done with hoping my GM and I can get lucky that my team will set me up. They're being held to a standard, so they're going, nope, I'll be my own GM. I'm going to get in my own place. If they're going to compare legacies and do all this, well, not everybody gets to be like Magic Johnson on the Lakers that has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all these other good players, and then you get fortunate to win all those games and other great athletes who have had that. So athletes are trying to make their own moves now. That's a different generation. It's not apples to apples is what I'm saying. It's not fair to compare it.
If social media existed in the early 70s, Terry Bradshaw would have been doing 2 shows a night, guitar in hand, singing country music, telling jokes, saying things that he shouldn't be saying publicly about the football team, and it would have been the most entertaining thing going. So maybe he just feels like he just was born at the wrong time, or at the right time, as the case may be.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.